Good morning, my brothers and sisters. How to pray for your president. Well, we're going to look to Psalm 20, where there's a prayer for the king, as an example. So, of note, this is a psalm of David. So he wrote it, but it's also written for David, which is he was occupying the office of leader of the country, and he's kind of teaching the people this is how to pray for your big leader. So whether you voted for our current president or not, your prayers for him are not optional. Your prayers are not optional for the leader of your country. So why is that? Well, because as the success of your president goes, or your king goes, so goes the success of your nation. And as the success of your government goes, so goes the success of yourself. So Psalm 20 is a prayer for the favor of the king. So we pray to the Lord, Lord, please answer the king in the day of his trouble. Please answer the president from your sanctuary. Grant him the desires of his heart. Fulfill his plans and petition. And then, so this is Psalm 20, and then in verse 6 through 8, it talks about the king rather than speaking to the king. So here's verse 6. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving might of his right hand. Verse 7, probably the most famous verse in this psalm. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They collapse and fall, but we rise and stand upright. So some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. So the ultimate success of your country is based on the trust, not in its military, not in military might, but in the might of the Lord. So to prosper your country, we want to foster our allegiance with the Lord and foster the king's and president's allegiance to the Lord. So to protect your people, put them in relationship with the name and person of God, rather than having military might be the final arbitrator. No, it's our allegiance to the Lord. So our success as a nation is measured in trust, not in tanks. And Psalm 20 asks us to ask of our leader that he or she not ultimately trust in soldiers and weapons and the technology of warfare, but let's make a parade, not of our shiny missiles and special forces, but let's celebrate, make a parade of our trust in the Lord. Let's celebrate that. For what will cause us to rise and stand upright is the trust that we have in the name of God. So what does it mean to trust in the name? The name refers to the attributes and the character of God. It is a summation of all the characteristics of God. To trust in the name is to put confidence in the very nature of God. So accountability as a leader is not to forget God, even to foster the relationship with God for the leaders and its citizens. So asking for the saving might of God's right hand to be upon your leaders, mayors, senators, congresspeople, cabinet, yes, even the president and king if you have one. The last verse of the Psalm 20, is verse 9. O Lord, save the king. May he answer us when we call. God save the king. You've heard that expression in Great Britain. Why is that used? Well, as the Lord favors the king, so he favors the country. As God gives grace to the president, some of that's going to spill over into the grace of the people of the country. As goes the success of our president, so goes the success of the nation. So what is the success of a president? Well, the psalm makes no bones about it. It's his or her salvation to start. So I think, O Lord, save the king. It means, could you please favor our leader with yourself? Could you accurately and miraculously save the king, save the president? So we know you could do it. We know it's in your power. You have the power to move in hearts. But Lord, would you please be so kind? So God save the king, God save the president is a prayer that is not inappropriate for every citizen to put on their lips and in their hearts. So some do this, but we do this. Some trust in chariots, but we trust in the name of the Lord. So let's ask, how then can we pray for our president? Lord, would you please grant him or her salvation, that we could shout for joy over him or her and your work? Will you please answer him or her when he calls to you on the day of trouble, or when she calls to you on the day of trouble? Will you remember him or her with favor and preference and mercy? Would he or she trust you rather than in horses and chariots and military might? O God, save the king. O God, save the president. Please pray for your president or your king. Thanks for listening.